Welcome to a sunny and warm Knockhill racing circuit for round 2 of the Scottish Legends Championship, and if you look behind me you will see a fantastic turnout of cars, loads and loads of cars at this meeting, which is great to see as ever. Mark Beattie pulls the short straw, the long straw if you like, pole position for heat number 1. Mark, welcome back to Knockhill, glorious sunny day, pole position, couldn't get any better could it?
No, not really, no, I'm in a good position, I've got as good a chance as anybody else, so I'm just ready to get stuck in.
If you look out to the left-hand side, John Patterson right towards the back of the field for this first heat, but he's famous for cutting through. When do we expect to see him?
I don't think it'd take too long. I think I'll see him on my back bumper by about the hairpin. So, but I'll try and keep him at bay. I'll try my best.
Make it exciting.
I certainly will. Don't worry about that, Joe.
And with that, I'll hand it to Richard. Richard, Legends race number 1, heading out on track.
Thanks, Joe. We've got some rookie drivers going into the main draw for the first time. So, could be some nerves jangling here, Knockhill today. Here's the grid, Jordan Hodgson and Mark Beattie on the front row, then Neville Anderson and Stuart Black from Billy Waite, David Hunter, Ryan McLeish and Steve McGill, Gerard McCosh and John Bushby on row 5. 6th row of the grid, Kieran Beattie and Colin McNeil, then it's John Patterson and Ivor Greenwood towards the back, Michael Paxton and Scott Hines. Well, we've not seen the cars since the Anglesey race weekend. What a weekend that was, racing with the Irish drivers as well. The National Championship runners were on the bill too. But we're back home for the rest of the season, so everybody can very much focus on the racing here at Knockhill for the rest of the season. 16-car grid, which is very good indeed. So on the outside line, Jordan Hodgson in blue. He's been a very handy rookie so far this year. The other rookies, Michael Paxton and Neville Anderson, cars 5 and 9 respectively. The lights are on, rolling start, they're being marshalled up towards the lights out, which happens now, and away we go. Legends racing here at Knockhill Circuit. It is the 85 car of Mark Beattie that leads them initially down the hill. We're going to see a sweep from Jordan Hodgson round the outside line. John Patterson in number 1 getting stuck in already. John Bushby in the black 16 there as well. Oh, a good start. Jordan Hodgson out front with Mark Beattie in second position. Everybody surviving Scotsman corner, which is grand. There is the number 5 Michael Paxton, followed by Gerard McCosh in the 68, which is running as a team car this year. 68, one number down from Gerard's traditional 69 number, and this is the view from Michael Paxton, who goes through Clark Curve and then on to Hislops down towards the Tri-Oval. This is the point at which Mark Beattie thought that the championship leader, the defending champion, was going to be on his back bumper, and he's not. He's about 4 or 5 cars away, so maybe not such a bad opening lap for Mark Beattie in the 85 car as we go on board with Ivor Greenwood, car number 37, the Ulsterman. Remember, this guy's in his 70s and still racing hard. It's in his blood, really, motor racing for Ivor Greenwood. He's chasing Kieran Beattie at the moment in the 33 car. Down Duffers through Leslie's, now coming down into Scotsman corner. Kieran Beattie keeping a pretty good line of things there. Billy Waite up ahead of David Hunter in car number 6. David, of course, looking to try and take the battle to John Patterson, but Pat is closing up on him. Pat, the second blue car, first blue car in fact, now on in shot. But now we go back to the race leader. It's Jordan Hodgson still there. Billy Waite coming under pressure from David Hunter, who looks up the inside line and is going to challenge for it and goes through. The number 6 car takes the place from Billy Waite. We've got a change at the front because Stuart Black in the 52 has gone through into lead position now. So Stuart Black is leading and goes up the hill, but Patterson and Hunter want to close in on the lead duo. There's the view from the pit wall. Down into Duffus we go once again, and Stuart Black leading. John Patterson looking to the inside line behind the second blue car. Keep your eyes open for the second blue machine, trying to nose his way into shot. So, David Hunter gets a squirrely moment on there. You can see Patterson a couple of cars still behind Hunter, who's trying his hardest. But the number 8 car doing a grand job here, Jordan Hodgson, from the front and holding on. Stuart Black with a little bit more experience, it must be said. He's the race leader, having come through, and he will try and pull away. Keep your eyes on David Hunter, the third place car, who will now try and close in on Jordan Hodgson. And he's doing that, comes offline, looks at the inside line. Is he going to be close enough to go through? Yes, he is. Hodgson, I think, realised that was the case. Here's the view from Ivor Greenwood, looking at the back end of Steve McGill. Billy Waite immediately in front of those. You can see conditions not too bad here today. Little bit of cloud cover, but by and large blue skies, which are throwing the shadows down onto the track. And here comes Greenwood looking for the move up the inside line and powers up the hill, passes Steve McGill. So Greenwood having a good run through the field. Started back, of course, with John Patterson in this one. Quick reminder, if you've not seen Legends Cars racing before, the grids are decided by ballot. We have 3 races. The first 2 races are by ballot. The second grid starting position being a reverse of the positions from one. So, but oh, look at some great drifting going on there. And heading off was Kieran Beattie in the 33, but fair play to him. He kept his foot down, managed to get through the gravel and rejoins. Here's the battle now for lead position. It's the 52 car, Stuart Black there, but not for much longer because David Hunter goes through. Hunter's through at the same time. It was almost synchronised passes from arguably the top 2 drivers in the championship. Hunter takes the lead. John Patterson took 3rd place away. So Jordan Hodgson now down into 4th, but Jordan will be learning all the time from watching John Patterson. Behind Jordan now is Ivor Greenwood. Now, the question we would ask at this stage is David Hunter going to be able to hang on here? Stuart Black running well in the 52. And then Wee Pat in the number 1 car, who by and large enjoyed a very successful Anglesey weekend. He's building a big points lead. This, remember, only the 3rd weekend of the year. It was a double header at Anglesey, so it's the 4th event today. But already John Patterson looking to extend that championship lead, and we've got a battle on for the lead. This is very good stuff from Stuart Black, who goes wide, but look at John Patterson. Well, we know he's got the speed, but that was a dive down the inside. He held on to the car, and he's side by side with David Hunter now as they go up the hill. Here's the view back from Ivor Greenwood. Greenwood looking for a place now and closing in on the number 8 car of Jordan Hodgson. Greenwood's turn of speed puts him ahead, and we've got a great view of the battle going on out front. That was a mega move, wasn't it, by John Patterson? He probably didn't need that sort of effort to go in, but boy, we love to see it. He was determined to get the lead from David Hunter and went down the inside line. So it's Patterson, Hunter, Stuart Black is next, then Ivor Greenwood in 4th place. Jordan Hodgson, I think, has just lost out once again there, but is staying with these guys, to be fair to him. And as I say, a relative newcomer to most of these drivers, Jordan Hodgson, but side by side now, coming down into the hairpin. David Hunter having a good look, might go for the switchback and perhaps a run up the hill. Stuart Black being followed by Ivor Greenwood, and it's Steve McGill in 15. Jordan Hodgson is next from Billy Waite. Up across the line they go. This has been a Super Legends race, and remember that the number 1 car has come through from the back of the field, and that's the excitement of Legends. We don't just plop the fast drivers on the front like other formulae do. We make these boys work, and Patterson, although he's taken a record number of wins so far this year, I can't remember anybody winning as many races in the opening rounds as Patterson has. He has to work for them. He has to work for certainly every other race heat-wise, and pretty much all the finals as well, because in the 3rd race of each meeting, the top point scorers from races 1 and 2 start at the back. So Patterson has to work hard every single race. There's no such thing as an easily won championship lead in Legends cars. And Patterson not breaking too much at the moment from Hunter. Up into 3rd place now is Ivor Greenwood. 4th, Stuart Black. 5th is Steve McGill. Into the hairpin again, and the climb up the hill. John Patterson is the race leader, but by no means getting away. He has got the fastest lap. David Hunter keeping him honest at the moment. Billy Waite taking a very wide line indeed there, but we are on the last lap of the opening race of this, as ever, 3-race meeting. David Hunter is keenly chasing the number 1 car once again. This is the battle that we've been hoping for all season, but great to see Stuart Black in the mix as well. Steve McGill's going to try and pop up the inside of Black, who made a little tiny error there, got punished for that. Riding the curbs, the number 1 car. Riding the curbs as well is David Hunter in 2nd. Here's a great view from John Bushby, who's getting stuck in as well. John racing hard there with Colin McNeil. Those two dicing over 11th place. So very nearly into the top 10 for those two and enjoying it, but the three-way scrap for the lead is on. Ivor Greenwood looks around the outside line here, going into the hairpin of David Hunter. Hunter won't be able to challenge, I don't think, the number one car as they go up the hill, and it looks like a Burnett Motorsport 1-2 here. John Patterson's going to take it. Ivor Greenwood's going for the lead. Greenwood makes the move, but it's John Patterson that just gets it by 200ths of a second from Ivor Greenwood in second. David Hunter in third, Stuart Black in fourth place from Steve McGill. A fine Legends race which is still going on. Michael Paxton in the number 5 car runs a little bit wide there. Gerard McCosh is going to have a look up the inside line to grab the position from him, which he does. Gerard coming home in 14th, just ahead of Michael Paxton. Neville Anderson in 16th. Here's the result. John Patterson from Ivor Greenwood, then David Hunter, Stuart Black, Steve McGill, Ryan McLeish, Jordan Hodgson 7th for Billy Waite and Mark Beattie, Kieran Beattie in 10th, and then John Bushby got the better of Colin McNeil, Scott Hines, Gerard McCosh, Michael Paxton and Neville Anderson complete the finishes.
John, well done. Yet another Legends win. How many have you won now? It's going to be in the hundreds, but Ivor almost stole that from you right at the very end. A dramatic finish from the old man.
Oh, brilliant. It was, I didn't even see him. I didn't even know he was there or he was even close to us. There was gravel down at the inside of the hairpin, so because I'm having to defend for David, I need to be in tight. I've got to run over the gravel, so I'm kind of stopping it and I'm trundling around to make sure I get a good exit. Ivor must have come away around by the gravel and got a slingshot, because I mean he passed me just after the line, 0.02 I think it was. So I was quite pleased. Car was good, but not perfect. Funny wee noise came off the back yet. But when I got by David, I just had to defend. It was
no wind today. Must be easier to escape at the front.
It would have been, yeah, but as I say, with that gravel down there, and each time I went down to it, I wasn't far enough ahead of him to be able to take the racing line. So I'm still having to defend kills the lap time. He needs to make a wee mistake, or I need to get a wee bit of a leap, and then I can start racing the racing line again and get away. But it wasn't happening today, so I just defended.
Well done, yeah, another win.
Thanks, Joe.
Ivor, well done. You almost took everybody by surprise there, including all the people on the pit wall. There was a huge cheer as you dived for the outside line and just missed out on the win by the smallest amount.
I took myself by surprise. There was a lot of gravel at that hairpin, and it was really, really difficult. And John and Pat were trying, or David were trying to avoid that gravel. So I thought, well, what have I got to lose? I'll just go over the gravel. Well, I'm always over the gravel anyway, so it made no difference. But it worked out for me, and honestly, I didn't even see the checkered flag. I was that busy watching for those pair. And I got away, and I thought, well, I've got one, and I win at last. But unfortunately, when I come around, I seen a second.
It was literally this much.
0.02 of a second, apparently. But sure, it looks good for the public.
And I'm sure you're going to get a win later today. Well done.
All right, thank you very much. It's a pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Dave, third place on this occasion, racking up championship points, which you always do, Mr. Consistent. But Ivor, like a madman there at the end, he mugged you.
Yeah, that last corner was a bit of a surprise. I mean, when I looked in my mirror, I couldn't see him. There must have been 2 or 3 car lengths behind me. So every lap I go in to the hairpin with Pat, I always go to try round outside, and it never works. So I thought I'll try something different on the last lap. Tucked in behind him, and the next minute Ivor's up outside of me, and I was boxed in. I had nowhere to go. So third's third. So
it's nice to have Ivor there, because we're used to the 2-horse race with yourself and John, but now we've got Ivor, the old man, mixing it in with you guys. It makes that extra bit of excitement.
It's a lot of pressure for me now, because I'm just used to racing in front of me, because Pat I'm always chasing, but now I've got to chase Pat and see where Ivor's coming, so it makes it hard racing.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
I'm here in the Burnett Motorsport camp with the owner, Stevie McCall. Stevie, a long time supporter of Legend Racing.
Yeah.
Super keen. I see you, I'm based at the circuit, I see you setting up like a Wednesday afternoon, a Thursday afternoon. Super keen, always here, and always turn out race-winning cars.
I'll try my best to turn out race-winning cars, yeah.
And you've got, obviously, current champion John Patterson. He's been winning pretty much non-stop in this championship. Is he the main focus in this team, or everybody else? It's all level playing? He's not a number one driver?
No number one drivers, no. When they put the crash helm on, I think they'll compete against each other. If you saw that in the last race with Ivor, it was close.
Did you have the heart in the mouth moment there with a couple of your cars going side by side?
3 of them coming around the corner, I was a bit weary about if they were all going to get round, but yeah, it was good. It was a good race. It was superb, yeah.
Talk to us about Scottish Legends, and we've seen numbers go up and down over the years. At the moment, I noticed that there is a big grid of Legends. It's great to see how healthy it is. We have got a big grid here. It's looking pretty promising for this season.
It's looking a bit better. I'm sure there's I'm sure there's another 10 cars missing that would just finish the whole thing off. But then you've got a lot of championships here, so it's quite hard to, when you bring a new championship in, maybe 10 guys will leave one and jump into another. You're not bringing 10 new people in or 20 new people. They're all just jumping in and out of cars, and it's about money.
Knockhill have the Legends experience that they run that is a good introduction for people that want to go Legends racing. They come here, they watch it, then they have a shot of a Legend, and then that gives them that springboard to come into the championship as a newcomer.
It's not a bad stepping stone to have a go at it, yeah. But it's a tough championship. This is probably the toughest championship ever.
It's one of the unusual championships as well, where it doesn't run like the normal qualifying, leads to grid positions. Run us through the format of it.
Well, you draw a number out of the hat to start off. If you draw pole for your start race, then you're at the back for the next race, and then the top point scorers has to come for the back to get to the front again. So that makes racing proper.
Yeah, it's designed to be exciting, isn't it?
Well, it's designed for guys to show how good they can drive cars, not somebody who's quick at the front and then goes away and there's no fighting. When you see all the fighting in between it makes it worthwhile, and hence the reason I've been doing it for 17 years.
But when we mix the newcomers in with that situation as well, we keep them as a rookie and keep them at the back for, is it the first 5 races?
The first 6 races they've got to start, but they don't quite start at the back as such. They just start they start further away, but you still got to fight through them, and it's only for 6 races. That's only 2 race meetings, and then you're done, and they're all in the pack. And when they're in the pack, sometimes it can be hard going. The final's the toughest, because you've got the guys who's won all the points, and what do they want to do at the end of the race? They want to win the final. Well, it's hard going from the back, but they get an extra 2 laps to try and make up the distance, and the first lap could be horrendous, as you saw.
Well done, let's hope for some exciting racing today.
Well, let's hope so. Good weather for it anyway. Thanks for that.
Scottish Legends race number 2, and the sun continues to shine. Michael Paxton on a pole position for this heat, but the man who I'm going to put some money on is Ivor Greenwood. We saw Ivor really quick. Ivor, a great first race, so close, about 2 inches away from your first win this year. What's the plan here? My money's on you.
Well, I wouldn't go betting on me, Joe. I'm over the hill and hitting rocks the way down.
Didn't look at this morning.
Well, I got lucky, I suppose, more than anything else. But if the start goes according to plan, the deal is with Pat is that with John Patterson to let him pass up the back somewhere and let him do the tow truck for a while and see where that takes us. Maybe get away from the hounds coming behind.
And then you can mug him on the last lap.
Well, if that's a possibility, I'll definitely have a go at that.
But I guarantee that's the bit you forgot to tell him.
Oh no, I didn't mention that. Don't tell him when you go back there.
Good luck.
Good night, thank you.
Let's see if Ivor's plan works. Richard, Legends race number 2.
Thanks, Joe. Ivor Greenwood on pole position. Michael Paxton alongside Colin McNeil and John Patterson on row 2. Then John Bushby and Kieran Beattie, followed by Steve McGill and Gerard McCosh. David Hunter back on row 5 with Ryan McLeish. On the 6th row, Stuart Black and Billy Waite. Neville Anderson and Scott Hines on row 7. Mark Beattie and Jordan Hodgson completing the grid and completing row 8. So Ivor Greenwood, expect him maybe to get a flyer here with just the 1 row advantage this time over John Patterson, but boy were they close. 0.02 of a second on race number 1. Maybe a little bit of a problem there for the 26 car of Scott Hines. I think he's trying to just catch up with the field there, come up towards the line, and lights out on race 2 of round 4 of the Scottish Legends Championship 2017. A very crowded field. Stuart Black with work to do in this one. John Patterson already past the number 5 car of Michael Paxton and up into 2nd place. So Paxton from the front row of the grid down to 3rd, but really not surprising when you think of the calibre of drivers John Patterson and Ivor Greenwood immediately in front. There is Gerard McCosh in 68. So a good start by all concerned. Here's the view from John Patterson. How quickly is he going to be able to challenge Ivor Greenwood for the lead? This could be about the run down in towards the tri-oval and hairpin section, and Patterson's already on a mission. The door is open and Ivor sees his teammate. We know he's very good through this part of the circuit. Look at the back end wanting to come around. Ivor looks back up the inside line, so the pair of them giving us a little bit of formation racing here up the hill. Greenwood's going to be looking at the inside line once they get over the brow and down into Duffus. They're still side by side. Patterson, though, has more momentum, and he's a clear leader now, as you can see. Down into Duffus at Leslie's now, and then heading down into Scotsman. John Patterson will be now record-wise. Joe Tanner asked him how many races he's won. It isn't in the hundreds. It probably feels like it for some of the other drivers. As we check up on Steve McGill, who is now in third place. Michael Paxton down to fourth, and the view back. This is John Bushby looking back at the number 8 car of Jordan Hodgson. So Jordan making progress, and behind Jordan the 85 machine of Mark Beattie, and Jordan goes to the outside line, but here's Wee Pat still out front to answer the question, by my calculations at least. That previous race win puts John Patterson on 54 Scottish Legends Cars Championship wins, and that includes class wins where they've been mixed up with, say for example, the Irish drivers as they were last time on Anglesey. Outright wins probably a little bit less than that. David Hunter running well. Hunter up and past the number 5 car of Michael Paxton. Michael, though, of course, one of this year's rookie crop and acquitting himself very well indeed at the moment. Stuart Black will try and pass him as well. For the rookies, you can't really as a rookie go for an outright championship win, because as you heard Steve McCall describe with Joe in the interview, that they do have to. Great move by Stuart Black going past Michael Paxton. A very neat line on the inside line, and contact there between Michael Paxton and Kieran Beattie. Hopefully they're both going to carry on. They are robust little cars, these. Just going back to that point about the rookies, the first 2 race meetings that you do in Legends as a rookie, effectively you have to start at the back. I say effectively because if you don't start all 6 races, you do have to wait for your 6th race start before you could go into the draw, which means you might get a front row or pole position technically of course on the draw. This is John Bushby chasing Ryan McLeish at the moment. Really good onboard shot from John's car, rides the curbs. Very busy track up ahead. Ryan McLeish looking to try and make progress as well. There's Kieran Beattie still up ahead of Michael Paxton. Going back to the scenario with John Patterson, he's actually 1 win away now from Ross Marshall's career total of 55 wins. John's had more podia than Ross, 52 podia, Ross Marshall 44. And only 1 driver in Scottish Legends Racing has had more wins, and that of course is Ben Mason. So John Patterson, Ben Mason's got 74 wins by my calculations, as we see the 85 car of Kieran Beattie trying to have a look there at Michael Paxton. Wants to go through. Here are the 2 leaders though. John Patterson still out front. Ivor Greenwood is in second and chasing him, and very much on terms with Wee Pat here, proving that age is no barrier to Legends Cars Racing. Wonderful move by Greenwood, goes down the inside line. Are these two just playing a little bit? Well, Ivor Greenwood, great move in any case. I'd say probably not playing, because they're not bump drafting at the moment. Greenwood still in front. John Patterson, the championship leader, in second. More for you after the break. Welcome back to Knockhill Circuit. Race leader Ivor Greenwood ahead of championship leader and race 1 winner John Patterson, of course multi-champion, defending champion in the number 1 car, and the battle behind the white car of Steve McGill and the grey car of David Hunter. They're right in the distance at the moment, and Ivor Greenwood coming under pressure. Pat has a look. I thought he was going to go down the inside, goes back to the outside line. Greenwood not overly defensive though at the moment in the 37. The Ulsterman holds on to it into the hairpin. They climb out of the hairpin and will head up a hill. I did think for a moment there that Patterson might look up the inside on the exit, because that wide line in can sometimes give you a tighter run, or the opportunity to have a tight run. Having said that, Patterson now looking on the outside line as they come down the hill. So at Duffus, nothing doing. Greenwood holds the initiative. Down through Leslie's, in towards Scotsman corner. Patterson's closing up and sees a gap on the inside at Scotsman. John Patterson back into the lead. Watch how wide he goes. Wider than Ivor Greenwood, but Ivor wasn't able to look back down on the inside line, so they go through the chicane, and it's Patterson from Greenwood. David Hunter is now up into third place from Steve McGill. Stuart Black in 52 is in fifth place. Stuart with fourth in race number 1. Remember, when we combine the results of the race, it gives us the reverse grid for the third race. And Stuart Black's going to be starting off the back. He's had 2 very good races so far. But it's Patterson out front. Ivor Greenwood in second. It's a replication, really, of race number 1. Ivor will want to get that back. David Hunter in third wants to try and reel them in. Hunter's got the fastest lap of the race so far in the number 6 car, so he's got the pace, if not the lead at the moment, but he's in third place. Ivor Greenwood, far from giving up the ghost, is challenging hard. This is the view down into Scotsman. This is where he lost the lead. He's still concentrating on the racing line, still concentrating on his Burnett Motorsport teammate who's out front. 33, Kieran Beattie, about to be passed by Ryan McLeish. So a good move from him. We've got Mark Beattie up ahead. So wherever you look, there are some great battles going on, with some of the new drivers really getting to grips with Legends. Through goes the number 5 car of Michael Paxton. Impressed here to see that we haven't had any retirements so far in this race, or indeed the first race of the weekend. Let's not jinx anybody. Here comes Ryan McLeish, though, looks at the inside line. That's textbook stuff here at Knockhill, down the inside line and passes Mark Beattie in the 85. He gets a little bit crossed up on the way. He's going to lose perhaps a little bit of ground to Kieran Beattie. Then it's Jordan Hodgson in the blue number 4. Up across the line, those guys go once again. But on the last lap, it's John Patterson. So Patterson here, a 55th win will see him equal the total set by Ross Marshall, the career total from Ross Marshall. They're still just around about 20 race wins short of Ben Mason, as we mentioned before. But it's Patterson from Greenwood. David Hunter, with that fastest lap, has caught Ivor Greenwood. Now, can he do to Greenwood what Greenwood did to him in race number 1? And he's having a go on the outside line, but Greenwood looks like he's got momentum down into the hairpin. Greenwood holds on to position. And now David Hunter's going to have a look up the inside line, gets a little bit crossed up on the exit. Fourth place is Steve McGill, but it's a win for John Patterson from Ivor Greenwood. Then David Hunter, Steve McGill is fourth. Watch for Stuart Black, another great result in fifth. Here comes Stuart now, checkered flag for him. Ryan McLeish is next from the Beatties. Kieran getting the better of Mark. Jordan Hodgson, Michael Paxton in 10th. Scott Hines will come home in 11th from Billy Waite. Here's confirmation of our top 10 and confirmation of that fastest lap for David Hunter. He'll be pleased about that. A sub-minute lap. 11th place, as we said, went to Scott Hines. 12th to Billy Waite. Then John Bushby, Gerard McCosh 14th, Colin McNeil 15th and Neville Anderson in 16th.
John, well done. Yet another Legends win. What can we say? It's just as easy as that, isn't it?
It's much easier starting at the front. Managed to get up into second quite quickly, and then followed Ivor for a wee bit. Managed to get by him, and then didn't really make the break. He seemed to get faster as the race went on. And then about 2 laps to go, I managed to just break him enough to get rid of the toe, because every lap he was on me, off the end of the office as you get here, especially the wind's picked up a wee bit. So well done to Ivor. It's good to see him out racing still and keeping us all honest.
I know most of these guys watch your TV, so give me a wee hint here. How can they beat you? Because you seem to have it covered at every angle at the moment here. What's it going to take to beat you? The wet, or bully you a wee bit of pressure? What's going to crack John?
I love the wet, to be honest. I don't know. I love coming here and racing with the guys, and I'll just keep doing it until I get fed up.
Well done.
Thank you.
Ivor, the driver, what's going on today?
Well,
he's a man possessed.
We're back again. I was getting a driving lesson there on how to drive Knockhill.
Now, you told me there was a plan. John was going to come past, you were going to stick with him and tow each other away from the pack, but then you told me you were going to mug him at the end.
Well, I sort of tried it a couple of laps too early, and that was it. It was over. He was gone. He seen David coming in the mirrors, and I think he checked out.
You've got one more chance.
Well, one more chance from the back this time, so it'll be more interesting. But I'd be very happy to get out of here today with 3 points finishes and no damage. Anglesey was a big problem, lots and lots of damage. And Cornard back to where it was then, but getting there. The good team behind me, Burnett Motorsport, and all thanks to Steve McCall. He's the victim of all this here. He's took me into doing this for another year. So get another year over and maybe then it's time to retire. I don't know.
Well done, Ivor.
Thank you very much.
David Hunter racking up points, but I know you're hiding it with a false smile there. You want the wins.
I mean, it's always points, but the two in front of me are getting the same points again as what I'm getting, but better. So I don't know. We just need to find something.
Ivor as well is causing you a problem. It was just John that was taking the points now, but Ivor seems to have found something.
I mean, Ivor's always had pace. He's always been there or thereabouts, and I don't know, something just clicking for him. So, well, good on him.
Good luck, Dave.
Thank you.
Scottish Legends final. This is the last race for these guys today. Neville Anderson on pole position for the final, and second place has caught my eye, Gerard McCosh. I think we spoke to him last time, but we'll have another wee chat. Gerard, you were in for one race, and if you enjoyed it, you were going to come back, and I'm assuming you did enjoy it because you're back.
I did indeed, and I particularly enjoyed Anglesey, which was great fun. I think this will probably be the last one today.
I'm sure it won't.
Well, we'll see.
What's the plan here? Can you go forward?
Not very far, no. I'm a bit off the pace at the moment, but we'll see. We'll give it a best go.
Enjoy.
Will do, thank you.
And with that, I'll hand it to Richard. The final race of the day for the Legends is heading out on track.
Thanks, Joe. Gerard starting on the outside of the front row. As you heard, Neville Anderson to his inside. Row 2, Colin McNeil and Michael Paxton. Then John Bushby and Scott Hines. Billy Waite and Kieran Beattie, followed by Mark Beattie and Jordan Hodgson. Ryan McLeish and Stuart Black on row 6. Steve McGill and David Hunter. Then Ivor Greenwood and John Patterson. So a totally reverse grid. We haven't got any gentlemen or rookie runners running off the back. This is every point scorer in the position in reverse, with top point scorer so far John Patterson. Ivor Greenwood second on the points. David Hunter sounds a bit disappointed, but he's still third on the points on the day, and it could all come through this third race of the weekend. I always hesitate to call it a final because the championship trophies, of course, or the event trophy, goes to the driver with the most points over the 3 races, not the winner of the final. Although, of course, few would bet against John Patterson coming through from 16th on the grid and looking for that 55th career win here. But he has an uphill task because he has the entire field in front of him as the lights go out on the last race of the weekend. And it's Neville Anderson and Gerard McCosh that lead them down. Colin McNeil in red looks up the inside line to try and challenge for lead position. Stuart Black on the outside line, as was Jordan Hodgson. A little bit of a worrying moment there for Michael Paxton, who gets back on track just in front of Colin McNeil. Paxton's had a good start chasing Neville Anderson. So, great start then by the Scottish Legends to pick up on John Bushby there in the 16 car. John in the mix. Here's the view looking back from Colin McNeil with Kieran Beattie right behind him at the moment. Super view. The cameras giving us, the onboard cameras particularly, really giving us an idea. And of course the key things about Legends cars racing. In fact, we've got a new leader now coming down into the hairpin. It's Billy Waite. I was going to say, when I looked at the grid, we get used to seeing Billy Waite up at the sharp end in the third race of a meeting, and Billy's been a little bit quiet by his standards at this meeting, but great to see him out front. Great to see Gerard in second place. Here's the view from John Bushby again. It's up and over the hill. Bushby about to come under pressure from David Hunter, who goes down the inside line. Then we've got Jordan Hodgson going through. Ivor the driver immediately behind, trying to nab a position here, which he's going to do down the inside of John Bushby. Look how close it is in the midfield. Ryan McLeish and Stuart Black. Ryan McLeish side by side with the 33 of Kieran Beattie. We've got fluid on the camera here, so now that's got to be coming from another car. The question is, who is leaking it? And of course the other question is, when you've got fluid going onto a camera lens here, is it going on the track as well? Stuart Black goes through on the inside line. So Neville Anderson in the number 9, chased by Ryan McLeish, and up ahead John Patterson already up into third place. John Patterson, and it's John Bushby off. Now, is that due to the oil or fluid that's on the track? John Bushby, we haven't seen him make any mistake. Bear in mind, we've had 2 heats of 16 cars and no non-finishers so far. So very good preparation in the paddock, exceptional driving, and I'm speculating that there might be oil down somewhere on the track. Let's keep our fingers firmly crossed that we don't get an incident. I'm hoping the marshals, of course, when they realise that something's down, will wave the oil flag, the red and yellow stripe flag. Not being shown at the moment, but of course there might not be anything down on this particular part of the track. John Patterson now past Gerard McCosh and up into second and chasing Billy Waite for the race lead. The finals, the thing that everybody forgot to mention, myself included, is that race 3 of the Legends meeting, the final, is slightly longer to allow drivers the chance to come through from the back of the field. A little bit of a lock up there from the number 4 and out wide. The number 4 car, Colin McNeil going wide, Michael Paxton going wide too. I think they've all recovered. McNeil has in red, he's still on that wide line with Ivor Greenwood looking up the inside line, but John Patterson has come through and grabbed the lead. Billy Waite down to second. Billy very well overdue a win here. Gerard McCosh is third. And then Ryan McLeish. Here's the look back from Colin McNeil, who we saw having a little moment at the hairpin. And I reckon this is all to do with something slippery on track. Wide line here for him. He's going to leave the door open for Kieran Beattie to have a look on the inside line. Kieran goes through. Mark Beattie beat him on in the 85. He's going to go through as well. Rides the curves. Wasn't quite up to Colin McNeil to go through. McNeil, remember, started in third position on the grid alongside Michael Paxton. And these guys, of course, compared with the likes of Gerard McCosh and John Patterson, David Hunter, relative newcomers. Scott Hines on the outside line, and here comes Beattie on with a move up the inside line on the exit of the hairpin. Squirrely back end. Is that where I seriously do worry whether that is where there might be fluid down? We'll find out as the race progresses, but Colin McNeil giving us some terrific onboard shots at the moment, and we'll have more from Colin and the rest of the gang after the break. Welcome back to Knockhill Circuit, the final race of our 4th meeting of the year. And Colin McNeil past here. David Hunter goes through, looking on the inside line. Here comes Kieran Beattie, followed by Ivor Greenwood. McNeil using that outside line. We've got Ivor Greenwood immediately behind. This is the run down into Taylor's the hairpin. Bit of a lock up there from Colin McNeil. Kieran Beattie goes wide. We've got a couple of cars very wide there. I think they've all come out of the hairpin. We were speculating about oil on the track. I think the drivers now, of course, having, if there is, they'll have been over it a couple of times, so they'll be okay with it. Bang onto the back, bump drafting now from number 6 car of David Hunter. A little bit of a lock up there. Hunter, I think that was maybe Colin McNeil saying, I don't want to do that, and Hunter still has momentum, goes through on the inside line, followed by Jordan Hodgson. The BTs are coming up as well. Kieran Beattie in 33 immediately behind us. You can see that the skies have got clearer as the day's got on here. It's been a super day's racing. Wonderful not to have any rain, although, as you heard, John Patterson likes the rain. Kieran Beattie's through. Mark Beattie's having a look in the 85 car. Scott Hines in behind as well. Great racing from those guys. There's Billy Waite, second position at the moment. Ahead of him in blue, John Patterson. John looking for a 56 career win, which will overtake Ross Marshall in the career standings, and another hat-trick from Wee Pat. Nobody can seem to stop him as off into the barrier with a bang goes Mark Beattie. That surely is game over for him, and again that's coming out of the hairpin, but the way he gyrated, I'm suspecting that maybe somebody else was involved. Gerald McCosh now down behind Ryan McLeish, so McLeish having a good run. Here is Colin McNeil's front-facing camera, and Colin past in the number 4 car. We'll continue up through the chicane. None of the corners are straightforward, are they, at Knockhill? You've got the chicane, which is uphill. It's not a flat gradient-wise chicane, it's uphill. And the hairpin is uphill as well, because when they run reverse race meetings here, which they do occasionally, you've got downhill into the hairpin, and downhill through the hairpin, and then downhill through the chicane as well. Great track built into the natural undulations that the arena provides. Stuart Black running well in 52, and up ahead now of Billy Waite chasing Ryan McLeish. So Stuart Black really on the pace this weekend, had a great result in race number 1 with 4th place, consistently 5th in the second race, and has worked his way through from the back of the field. This is going to set Stuart up, I'm sure, for a very good run towards the halfway stage of the season, and indeed the second half of the year. But it's John Patterson clear at the moment from Ryan McLeish. Stuart Black trying to close in. Then Billy Waite in 3rd. Be great to see Billy maintain that and get a podium. Gerard McCosh is still there as well in the 68, running in 5th position and not that far away from Billy Waite. So Gerard may be getting into a little bit of race rhythm. Back end on the 68 car wants to flick out a little bit. Ryan McLeish is following him from Ivor Greenwood. So across the line go the runners again, and McLeish and Black having a good race of things at the moment. McLeish has got 4 or 5 lengths, as you can see. Stuart will try and close down and gets a sideways moment. Ryan McLeish, now just watch how much momentum, if any, he loses here. He doesn't lose a great deal. That was a really good control there from Ryan McLeish. The back end still coming out. One suspects maybe he likes the car set up like that. Any race driver will tell you if you're going sideways, you're not going forwards as much as you could have done. So perhaps that oversteer is deliberate, maybe not, but either way, Ryan McLeish showing us some great car control, and that's entertaining the crowds here. McLeish 2nd, Black 3rd. Then the black car of Billy Waite is in 4th place, followed by Ivor Greenwood. Steve McGill, followed by, not Ivor Greenwood, Gerard McCosh, and then Steve McGill in the white 15. They go past Mark Beattie's stricken 85 car. So Mark, the first retiree of the meeting. I spoke too soon, really, saying that we'd had 2 races with no retirees. But inevitably, it's a gruelling schedule. And the drivers, of course, on track for a fair bit. And these cars are pretty physical to drive. Stuart Black now up into 2nd place. So McLeish down to 3rd. So it's Patterson, Black, McLeish. Billy Waite is still there in 4th place. Then Gerard McCosh coming under pressure from Steve McGill. Ivor Greenwood is behind them, and behind Ivor Greenwood is David Hunter, still trying to make progress, but neither of these two made the urgent progress in the opening laps the same way that John Patterson did out front. Patterson, remember, coming from 16th on the grid through to the lead pretty quickly indeed. Ryan McLeish wants that 2nd position back. Billy Waite is quite happily sitting there as well and not losing any ground. We've now got Steve McGill ahead of Gerard McCosh. Down across the line they go once again. So McCosh with Ivor Greenwood in his mirrors. Greenwood makes the move down the inside. Gerard, I think, letting them past. And David Hunter still all over the back of Ivor the driver. And he's going to go in for a little bit of bump drafting here, going through the corner. And as a result, Greenwood goes wide. He's unhappy. And spears David Hunter coming back onto the track. Well, bump drafting, I think here in Scotland they're not supposed to do it. Let's see if we can have a look at the replay. David Hunter comes up. We've seen him bump drafting already. It wasn't exactly straight and square on. And then Ivor coming back on track gesticulated at David Hunter. And then the pair of them get involved. That, I suspect... Yeah, look at the damage on Ivor Greenwood's car. Certainly going to have knocked the front steering and possibly suspension out of kilter as well. Racing incident, I'm going to say, and that's I suspect one of the reasons why the race organisers here tend not to like bump drafting. It is part and parcel very much of Global Legends racing, but it can cause the occasional. I'm not saying that was the cause of the incident there, but very clearly I think the two were racing closely. It will be decided in the clerk's office and maybe penalties next time, but those cars parked up. We've got a red flag, probably the right decision. It's going to be red and checker here at Knockhill. Those two guys, well, Ivor said he didn't want any damage. David Hunter didn't want any damage either. Both shaking their heads. They were both racing hard at the end of the day. It means that John Patterson takes the win from Stuart Black 2nd, Ryan McLeish 3rd, then Billy Waite and Steve McGill, Gerard McCosh is in 6th from Jordan Hodgson, Neville Anderson, Scott Hines, Colin McNeil 10th, Michael Paxton 11th, and John Bushby in 12th. Fastest lap, John Patterson.
Ryan, well done. Second place. We're still chasing the win, but again, another strong podium and a great race.
No, it was a great race. We had a hard day, some problems with the car over this weekend, but finally seemed to have it back where it should be and just head down at the start of the race and bide my time. It'll come, just need to get more experience and we'll go for there.
Well done.
Thank you.
Stuart, well done. I've never noticed how big you are. You must struggle to get in these things.
It's a bit of a squeeze.
It's certainly not slowed you down.
No, I love these things to bits. Said it before, say it again. They're just great wee cars to drive. Fun. The action out there is immense. And like I was saying to Duncan earlier, I was just pretty patient, working my way through, and I was happy with that.
Obviously, an incident with Dave and Ivor there. I didn't see it. Have you seen what happened?
I just seen the two of them walk together out on track there, so I don't know. I need to wait and see what happens on the TV to get an opinion on it.
Well done.
Thank you very much.
John, well done. 3 out of 3 today. That's a pretty good weekend. I know how much you hate losing and you go back and smash up the awning and all the rest of it, but no need today. 3 wins.
Yeah, it was tough today as well because 16 cars, every one of them in the main pack. So coming from the back in the final there, I wouldn't say I was confident. I was hopeful, but rather than confident. But it opened up for me very early on in the first lap. And a couple of other guys I think were maybe trying a wee bit too hard at the beginning. They've kind of went skew off onto the gravel, and it allowed me to pick a right few off. I think I was maybe 5th or 6th or something going round the first lap, and then it was just a matter of settling in, getting the rhythm together and getting through the traffic. But big thanks to Stevie. I mean, my car, reliability, bulletproof, never breaks down, handles amazing. I mean, you know when you've got a good car when it turns up one time and it's not quite set right, and we've got to work back to the good setting again, and that's happened a few times over the last few meetings, but we've always got back to the right setting, and it's been the car's been bulletproof, so all credit to him.
Well, unfortunately that brings the Legends racing today to a close, but well done John. Obviously another 3 wins, but make sure you tune in next time for more Legends action.